Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is May and in today's video I'm going to be going over everything that I learned in my first year of playing Stardew Valley. So this video is going to be for all my beginners out there. I'm going to be going over just the basics like how to use your tools, how to plant crops, fish, mining, and just any other helpful tips that I've learned along the way. So if you are also starting your Stardew Valley journey, you have came to the right place, and let's just get right into the video. On this first page here, you're just going to be filling in the information for your farmer and your farm, and then you can also customize your character from this page, just using all of these options here. This will be the pet that you have living with you on your farm. So you can choose from a few different cats and a few different dogs, but I'm gonna go with this puppy dog for today. And if you look right over here, these are actually different farm layouts that you can choose from. But I would recommend, if you're just starting out and this is your first farm, you really can't go wrong with just choosing the standard layout, because that will give you a good idea of all the different aspects of the game. And you are able to create multiple farms, which is really cool. So I actually plan on creating one of each of these farms. But I did start with just the standard layout to get a feel for everything. But if you find that you really prefer like fishing, for instance, then maybe your next farm, you'll want to go with the beach farm, because of course you're going to have a lot more fishing there. And it's a different layout. All of these they look slightly different. It's kind of the same idea, but they all do look slightly different. So this time around, I am just gonna go down the line here. So we're gonna go ahead and do a Riverland farm for my second farm. So this is where you will start off, and as you can see, it lets you know how you're gonna control your character here. So just make a note of that. If you take a look over in this corner, you will be able to tell what day of the week it is, and this is what time of day it is. So every day will start at 6 a.m. and to save the progress in this game, you will actually have to come back home to your cabin here and get into bed. And it will say go to sleep for the night, and in order to save what you did that day, you will need to click yes. That is actually the only way to save the progress in your game. So just keep that in mind so that you don't put in a whole day's work on your farm and then just exit the game out without going to bed, and you will lose all of that work for the day. So I do not want that to happen to you. The next thing I'm going to go over with you guys is the game menu, and you can pull this up at any time just by pressing E on your keyboard. And this actually will pause the game for you as well, so it will just freeze at whatever time it is, which is really helpful. I would definitely recommend always pausing it if you're going to step away, because the time does kind of fly by really fast in Stardew Valley. So this is your inventory, or also kind of like your backpack. So this is all of the stuff that you are carrying around with you on your person. So you'll be able to use any of these tools that you have on you just by clicking on them. This next tab here is going to be your skills tab. So as you level up in the game, you'll be able to track your progress here. This next tab is going to be your social tab. So this is a list of all the people that live in the town next to you. And as you interact with them more and more and give them gifts, you will see the hearts start to fill in. And of course, the more hearts that you have, the stronger of a friendship that you have with them. This next tab is your map, which you can also access your map by just pressing M on your keyboard as a shortcut. But as you can see, this is you and your little farm over here, and this is the rest of the town. And if you hover over any of the businesses, it will let you know what it is and also the hours of operation. So just make sure you check that before you're trying to head off somewhere to do anything, because nothing worse than trying to go see Pierre on a Wednesday. He is closed. You can also hover over the houses and it will let you know who lives in that house. So that's really handy if you're trying to find somebody specific. You can usually find them at their house, or if not, you might just have to wander around the town a little bit. And this menu here is going to be your crafting menu. So these are recipes that you're automatically going to start out with, but as you get further and further in the game, you will receive new recipes. And if you just hover over them, it will also let you know the items that you will need to actually craft this item. So this chest will need 50 pieces of wood, and this is an item that I ended up making pretty quickly into the game because your inventory here will fill up really fast. So the chest is nice because you're able to store quite a few more things in there, and you can make multiple of them. So right now I probably have like 7 chests on my farm just filled with different things. I have like one for tools, one for food, one for crafting supplies, so you can organize it that way. Definitely makes things a little bit easier. This tab here is the collections tab. So as you gather new things, it will just kind of fill in this gray area, so you'll be able to see how far you've came on collecting all the different things that there are to collect. This is the fish one, artifacts, minerals, cooking, achievements. You get the gist. And next we have just the game options. So I would definitely go in here before you start playing and just make sure if you want to adjust anything that you do that. I always like to have the auto run on just so I'm not walking super slow everywhere. And also it will give you a little reminder on which buttons you can use as the shortcuts. So if you ever need a reminder on how to navigate your character, you can come here. It's very helpful. This is the just exit menu, but again, just a reminder, if you come here and you just exit with this without going to sleep and saving your progress, you're gonna lose all the work that you did for that day. So just make sure before you exit anything, just send your character to bed. And sometimes you will also see this living off the land option, which is just tips and tricks for gameplay. So always good to check that out when you see it. And you'll also sometimes see something called the Queen of Sauce available to watch. So that will just give you a recipe every time you watch it that you'll be able to use later in the game. So you can start stocking up on them now, and then once you do upgrade your house to have a kitchen, you'll already have some recipes that you're able to cook. The last thing I'm going to go over while we're still inside here is just this little exclamation point, which is your journal. You can also pull that up by just pressing F on your keyboard at any time. This will keep a log of all of the different tasks that you have going at the moment. So for now we only have one, and it's just our introductions. So we're just going to be introducing ourselves to all the townspeople. And then once you do that, this task will be completed and disappear from your journal. And as you accept new ones, you will see them show up in here as well. All right, now let's head outside where the real fun begins. So you're just going to walk through this little doorway right here, and it will take you straight out to your beautiful farm. So I am just going to go over what these tools do with you guys really quickly. So of course the axe is going to be used for chopping down any wood or trees. The pickaxe will take out any rocks for you. The scythe is used for the grass, and also one of the faster ways to get rid of weeds. The hoe is used for making holes in the ground, so that is how we will plant our seeds once we get there. And the watering can is of course how you will water your seeds once we get there. And for these weeds, pretty much any of the tools will take them out, so you can use the axe or the pickaxe, but the scythe is just a bit faster. Also, if you take a look right down here, you will see your energy bar. So anytime you're doing clearing on your farm, or really anything active, even fishing, mining, just always make sure that you're keeping an eye on that energy bar, because it will start to go down. And if you exhaust yourself, so if you're all the way down here in the red, then your character will just pass out, and you do not want that. So just always pay attention. If your energy does start getting low, you are able to eat something and that will help raise it again. But as you can see, I haven't even done too much clearing yet, and our energy bar is already starting to lower. So just always keep an eye on that. I have definitely almost came very, very close to passing out just because I got too into clearing my farm, and it's just so fun scything things. So just look out for that. You don't want to be passing out. So as you start clearing your farm, you'll notice that you're collecting resources down here. And it's usually wood, stones, and fiber, but sometimes you will find things like coal, clay, mixed seeds. So those can be really helpful. But I would recommend hanging on to at least the wood and the stones at first, because you will find that later in the game you will need these resources to be able to build out your farm and construct new buildings. And I know it is really tempting to just go ahead and start selling everything so you can make more money and do whatever you want with that, but it definitely might come back to haunt you later when you want to build that first barn and then you need like 500 pieces of wood. So just to save yourself some trouble, keep that in mind. But if you ever do want to sell anything, you can just come right over to this box over here and click on it. And anything you want to sell, you can just put it in the box and you'll get money for it the next day. So that's one nifty way to be able to sell things and make money. And you can also bring things over to Pierre over in town, and you can sell things to him as well. So as you can see, it does start to get dark at night. It is almost midnight, and another very important tip I have for you guys is that at 2 a.m. every night, if your character is still out and about somewhere, they will pass out. And then you will be fined 10% of however much money you have, all the way up to $1,000. It'll start warning you around midnight and letting you know that your character is getting sleepy. And I would say wherever you are, whether it's like down at the beach or down at the mines, just to be safe, I would leave that place around midnight to make sure that you do make it home by 2 a.m. I have definitely had some instances where I was only like 10 minutes late, but I still did not make it in time, and my character did end up passing out. I went for so long without that happening to me, but then one day you just get carried away, and that's all it takes. But as you can see, I put my character to bed, so that saved my progress. And then these are the things that I had put in that box last night to sell. And that's how much gold I got for it. And it does break it up into different types of items. So your farming items, foraging items, fishing, and mining. So it'll break it all down for you and then let you know the total that you received. And now we will officially be on our second day. And again, the day always starts at 6 a.m. And You can also always check this mailbox, and sometimes you'll have mail there. You just click on it. And this is a letter that you will always get on your second day of playing, just letting you know to go down to the beach so that you can receive your fishing pole from Willie. Because that is one of the only tools that you're not automatically given at first. So you actually do have to go down and get that. And you can see here, this exclamation point is now letting us know we've got something new in there. So this is our new mission, to go down to the beach and meet Willie. The next subject I want to get into with you guys is planting crops. So what we are going to do is pull up our map here. So as you can see, we are right here. We're just going to walk straight across over here, and then that will take us right to Pierre's store. And we will also from there go on down to Willie's shop, which is down here at the beach. So that's the fish shop. It's open at 9 a.m. and closes at 5. So we just have to make sure that we get there before 5 p.m. or else Willie will not be there, of course. So we're just gonna walk right through here to start our way into town. Always keep an eye out for anything forageable. If you hold your mouse over something and it shows this little green plus, you just want to stand right in front of it and you'll be able to pick that up. So that is considered foraging. Basically just picking up anything that you see on the ground. It will become more familiar to you as you like move along in the game, because at first those items really didn't even stand out to me and I was just walking by them and had no idea. So here we are just coming into town here, and this is Pierre's shop. To enter, you just walk up to the door and click on it, and we're just gonna walk right up to Pierre here and click on him. So as you can see, Pierre sells quite a variety of seeds. You can scroll down here to see everything that he offers. He also has trees available. And these will change with the seasons. So these are just the spring season seeds. And something very, very important that I will point out to you guys is when you hover over the seeds, it'll give you information about how long those seeds take to mature. So for the parsnip seeds, it says plant these in the spring, takes 4 days to mature. So that basically means you can only plant them in the springtime, and it will take a full 4 days for that plant to mature. So once the spring season is over, any spring seeds that you planted will die once we go into summer. So you'll want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to be able to let these plants mature. And again, there is only 28 days in each season. I also would recommend trying to plant at least one of each crop that you're able to, because sometimes the townspeople will ask you to bring them over an item that you grew, and it's a good way to build friendship. There's also other things that you can use these crops for. So it definitely doesn't hurt to at least do like one of each. All right, here we are back at the farm. And I'm just going to show you guys how to plant the seeds. You're just going to grab your hoe and go ahead and make a few holes in the ground. But the thing about the seeds is you just need to be right in front of where you're trying to plant them. So if you try to plant them over here, it's not going to let you, just because you're not standing right in front of it. So I was struggling for a little bit there, not being able to figure out why I couldn't plant my seeds. So just in case anyone else has a similar problem, that is all it is. You just gotta stand right in front of where you're trying to plant it. And then you're gonna click on your watering can. And you do have to water your plants every day, even the day that you plant them. So just make sure that you do that, or else, of course, they will not grow. If it is raining that day, then you do not have to water your plants. So that is always something to look forward to. We always love a nice rainy day. And as you can see, the water level is starting to go down on the watering can. So you can refill this at any source of water. You just click on it and there we go. It's all filled up again. So now we're just waiting for these to grow in. So since we got our fishing pole, I will go ahead and show you guys how to fish really quickly. So you're just gonna make sure your pole is selected and go to any body of water. And right now I am holding down the mouse button. That's why that bar is going from red to green. And what you wanna do is try to release it at the very end when it's completely green. And that will give you a max cast. Once you hear a little sound and see that exclamation point, I missed that fish, but once you see that, that means that you have a bite. So you'll just go ahead and click, and that's when you're gonna start reeling in your fish. And it will show you a little description the first time that you're fishing. I already caught a fish, so it's not gonna show up, but you're trying to keep that green bar on the fish. And when you hold down the mouse is what makes the green bar go up. If you release the button, it lets it go down. So you're just kind of following that fish with the bar. Click, and we've got a fish on the line. So I'm just following that fish with this green bar. I'm just trying to keep that fish in that green bar until the bigger green bar is completely green. And then here we have a fish, and it will show up in my inventory. Okay, so I actually just did a little bit of clearing and chopped down some trees over here because I want to show you guys how to use that crafting recipe tab to build the chest, because I already am needing one. But as you can see, a lot of these are filled in now, meaning that I do have the resources that are needed to make that. So I am going to be making a chest right now, which is going to take 50 pieces of wood, and I'm just going to click on it, and now I have it on my little mouse, and we just put it in a slot. And now I will be able to place it somewhere. Also, just really quickly, I will show you how to organize your inventory. So again, I just press E, and that is what pulls up this menu here. If you click on anything, you can move it to any slot, just like that. Or also, this is a pretty nifty little button. It'll just kind of condense everything for you. And it's very helpful because all of these open slots are now available for me to put anything I would like into this box, just to make more room in my inventory. So here we are on our 6th day of spring. And I forgot to let you guys know that little box that's inside your cabin. When you first start, if you just click on that, that's going to give you a bunch of free seeds that you'll be able to plant. So that is how I got this extra row here. And also, I'll be able to show you guys how to harvest these because they are ready. So whenever you hover over a plant and it has this green plus sign, that does mean that it's ready to be harvested. As you can see, these are not ready, neither are these. Now, this is very important. Listen up. Anytime you are around your plants, and especially when you are about to harvest your plants, you need to put your hoe down. Put the hoe down. Put the hoe down. Put the hoe down. You gotta put the hoe down. Put the hoe down. Actually, any of your tools, if you are around your plants, just make sure you put them down, because really just any of your tools, just anytime you're going to be around your plants at all, I would click on the watering can, because they can definitely handle some water coming at them, but not so much an axe. We just want to come right up to these plants here, click on them, and there we go. Our first crop that we've harvested. And when you hover over anything that's edible, you'll see the energy and the health that it will give you when you eat that. So I just wanted to hop on my original farm since my community center is already unlocked on this one, so I can show you guys some stuff. So it will start in this room. I have actually already completed this first bundle here, which is why this room is all nice and fixed up. And this one also allowed me to repair one of the bridges to give me access to some more like mining and stuff like that. But pretty much in every room you'll see these little glowing things, and if you click on it, so I've already completed this one here, which is why it's like bloomed into a little flower. But as you can see, these are the items that I have already put in here. So I'm needing to get two more of these items to be able to complete this bundle. This aspect of the game will take you a while. I am already on my second year in this original farm, and I've only completed one of these so far, which was this one right over here. So I'm still working on all of these other ones. And a good way to tell if you have an item that you need for the community center, like if you're doing a lot of fishing, you can pretty much guarantee that one of those fish will be needed for your fishing bundle. But an easy way to tell how to do that is if you hover over these items here, you'll notice this here. So if you just take your mouse and hover over an item and you see this tree symbol here start to blink like that, that means that this item is something that I need for the community center bundle. So this, as you can see, it's not moving at all. So that's not an item I need. Same with all of these. So that's a really, really easy way to tell. And also it does kind of help let you know what to be on the lookout for as far as like fish and foraging and everything like that. So that is how you will complete all of these bundles in here. Like I said, it's going to take a while, so it's definitely not something you can get done quickly. I actually didn't even know that little trick about the blinking tree until about a week ago. So shout out to Christian if you're watching this. He has helped me with a lot of tips and tricks that are actually going to be in this video. So big shout out to him. Very much appreciated that tip because I was always like scared to get rid of items, like sell them, because I was like, oh, what if I need it for the community center? And then I would walk all the way down here and check all the bundles, and it would waste a lot of time. So just to save yourself some time, a good little tip for you. The next thing I want to go over with you guys is mining. So the first thing you're going to need to know is whenever you go down to the mines, you'll want to bring some food with you, because there are little monsters in there that you will be fighting and attacking, and they can attack you back. So it's nothing too crazy, but definitely just bring some food with you in case your energy and health starts to get a little bit low. And you'll also want to bring a weapon with you. Now, the first time that you go into the mines, you'll be given a weapon, and it's just kind of like a very basic rusty sword, and that will definitely get you through like those first couple levels of the mines, and then you'll start finding better swords down there. So nothing you need to like go out and buy. And another thing I want to go over with you guys is warp totems. And you might find those if you dig something up in the ground. I've found a few that way. Or you can also actually craft them. So I will show you that there is a little arrow here to bring you to more items you can make. So I already pulled out the items I'm going to need for this totem. And what these do is teleport you. So really nifty, especially if you want to have like a late night down in the mines and you don't want to end up passing out on your way home. You could bring a farm totem with you, which is this one here. And once you eat it, it will teleport you right to your house. So really nifty. But right now we are going to make a mountain totem so that I can just go ahead and teleport over to where the mines are and kind of show you guys that aspect of the game. So I just crafted that. We're going to put it in here. And you can only use items up in this top row. So if there's an item you need to use that's down here, you can simply just switch it out for something up there. And now you will be able to access it. So you just grab that and then you're going to click on your character. And that's how you also eat food as well. So there we go, and poof. We are up here. This is where the mountain totem will take you, which is pretty much right by the mine entrance. Just got to walk a little further up here. So we are going to go ahead and just head right into the mines. Now, when you first walk in here, you will see a ladder, which you can go down, and then you'll see an elevator. So every time you get to the 5th level, so 5, 10, 15, 20, counting in 5s, that will activate a new level on the elevator so that you don't have to start on level 1 of the mines every time. Because if you go down this ladder, you're just going to start at level 1. But as you can see, I've made it to level 100 so far. There is 120 levels in total, so I still have a bit to go to get down to the bottom. But we'll just kind of start off on one of the lower levels. I'm just going to click on level 5 and it will take us there. So this will be the first level that you get access to on the elevator. So you'll just want to select your sword if you're trying to go up to a creature and battle it, and you just click and voila, that easy. There are obviously, the deeper you go, the harder the monsters are to kill, but overall I'd say they're pretty easy to kill. And now you'll also notice, since we're in the mines, you'll have this health bar now instead of just the energy bar. So you'll need to keep an eye on both of these. And of course, if you are getting attacked, I'll show you by letting these guys attack me a little bit. So if they are attacking you, you'll start to see your health go down. And it's pretty slow, so you don't need to panic or anything. I was definitely a bit worried to go down into the mines because I just did not know what was going to be waiting down there for me. But they're pretty nice monsters. So if you just want to eat something, you don't need to if it's still pretty green, but once it starts getting down here, you will want to eat something so that you do not end up getting killed by the monsters. And again, to eat something, you're just going to click on that item. You will come over to your character and click on her. She'll ask if she wants to eat it. Yes. And bumped me right back up here. And every item, if you hover over it, will give you different amounts of health and energy. So this leek will give me 40 energy, only 18 health though. So if you're looking to bump up your health, that would probably not be the best. This gives you 20 health, and that will give me 0. So just make sure you bring a good selection of food, just depending on how deep you're trying to go in the mines. Okay, so the next subject we're going to get into is raising animals. As you can see, I have chickens and cows right now. And the chickens obviously produce eggs. The cows produce milk. When you get goats, they will also produce milk. Sheep produce wool. Ducks produce eggs. So they all do something a little different. But you do have to start out with chickens and then cows before you can move on to the other animals. Also, if you see my horse over here, this is later in the game. I didn't get this horse until like the end of my first year because it's a little expensive. It's about $10,000 to have that built, but you can ride around on your little horse, which makes things a lot faster. So that's definitely something to look forward to, but not necessary. So your barns have openings right here that you can open and close. So in the winter time, I would just keep the door closed to keep them kind of warmer. But the rest of the year, you can pretty much just leave that open and then they can roam around freely on your farm. If you want to build a fence, you can. As you can see, I decided to build half a fence, and then I decided that I'll just go ahead and let my animals roam around freely because they don't really go too far. And I was just worried about having to chase them down to milk them. And you can also pet them. You'll actually want to make sure you're petting them like every day or at least every other day, because it will build up your relationship with the animal. So as you can see, I've almost got a full set of hearts for this cow here. And in order to get some of the other animals, you will have to prove yourself and show that you can take care of like the basic farm animals. So just make sure that you're petting them. You just click on them to do that. Sorry, I'm like swinging my axe at them accidentally. And even your little, I have a cat on this farm, so make sure you pet your cat. And then you've got to go in here. These are my lovely eggs that my chickens produce. And you will have to feed them some hay. If you have grass available for them, like right outside the barn here, they will just eat the grass. Let me show you the grass. Mine's too far away, which is why they're not eating it. But this here is grass, so they will eat that if it's close enough to them. Cut. Action. But the only thing with that is every winter, all of your grass will die. Nothing grows in the winter, so you are not going to have crops that grow in the winter, and you are not going to have grass growing on your farm in the winter. So I would definitely suggest getting a silo built so that whenever you scythe your grass, this is pretty cool, guys. So I'm going to scythe the grass, and as you can see, it's collecting the hay automatically, and it is automatically storing it over in my silo. So for the winter, you'll just want to make sure that you have that stocked so that you'll be able to get your animals through the winter. So right now I am going to show you guys where we will go to get started on anything that you would like constructed on your farm. That will be done by Robin. She is the town carpenter. So she is located right up here. The carpenter's shop from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. she's available. And that is also where Robin, Demetrius, Sebastian, and Maru live. So we will go ahead and head over there. We are right here. So we're just gonna go up this way and it should take us right over to Robin's. All right, so here we are at Robin's. And you're just gonna walk right up to her. And then you will see the option here to construct farm buildings. So we'll click on that. So this is going to show you all of the different buildings that Robin can construct for you on your farm. So here is just the starter chicken coop that I started with. The barn, you can do a well. This is the silo. You can do a mill, shed. So as you can see, there is lots of stuff she can build for you. Just make sure that you pay attention to everything you'll need to bring her in order for her to start making it, because you will need money, but you will also need resources. So you'll need 300 pieces of wood and 100 stones, whatever else it asks for. So this just needs stones. This one's gonna need a copper bar and some clay. So just make sure you bring that with you. I have walked myself down here many times forgetting to bring wood or something and had to walk my happy butt right back to my farm and grab the wood. So just to save yourself some trouble, you can also Google it. So just Google, what do I need to bring Robin in order to construct this? And you'll be able to find it really easily. So here we are at Marnie's. This is who you will buy your animals from. Oh, I think she's closed right now, actually. But this is who you will buy your animals from. You just come here, and if she is open, she'll just be right here at the counter. Oh, maybe she's coming out right now? No. She's done for the day. But you can just purchase the animals directly from her. And I believe she also is the person that sells the pail that you'll need to be able to milk your cows. Okay. So I just want to point this out to you guys because I had no idea about this until basically like the end of my first year. So I just want to share it with you guys so you know. But let me bring up my map here so you can see where we are. So this is the farm. So this is just a little bit south from the farm. There's a little entrance right here. You can go down and just walk over. It's right by the wizard's tower, kind of. So this right here is the secret woods, and you will have to wait a little bit to be able to enter, at least until you upgrade your axe to a steel axe, and then you will be able to cut a log that's blocking the entrance right here. So once you do that, you'll be able to enter this secret forest, and this is one of the only areas where you can actually collect hardwood from these large stumps. And hardwood is a pretty hot commodity on this game, and you definitely don't get as much of it as you do the regular wood. So everyone, those are my main tips and tricks for you to help you get through your first year on Stardew Valley. I myself still have so much to learn. I swear every time I play this game, I am learning something new. So that is part of the fun in it. Really, the most important part is just for you to have fun. There really is no right or wrong way to do anything. So just do whatever you feel like doing. Go at your own pace. Don't worry if you make any mistakes. Trust me, I made lots of mistakes in my first year, and that's honestly one of the best ways to learn. But hopefully these tips and tricks will help you, save you some struggles and some pain. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you have any tips or tricks of your own, make sure you leave that down in the comments below. I'm sure everyone would appreciate any help we can get. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, month, year, everything like that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.